Opposition.
Mr Speaker, it's necessary to suspend standing orders because this matter can't wait. It can't wait, and standing orders must be suspended because this is a Prime Minister who's happy to listen to actors, but she won't listen to voters. She wants to say yes to celebrities, but she won't say yes to the people of Australia by having an election on this topic. Mr Speaker, she'll listen to actors, she'll listen to celebrities, and one of the people who she wouldn't listen to is the Foreign Minister, who's now walking out of the chamber, and none of us are surprised that he's walking out of the chamber because she wouldn't listen to him either before the last election. She wouldn't listen to him when he wanted an emissions trading scheme. Instead, she destroyed his Prime Minister and lied to the Australian people at the election which we had. I think that it's very important that the actors and the celebrities of this country should have their say. They should have their say. People who live in eco-mansions have a right to be heard. They really do. People who are worth $53 million have a right to be heard, but their voice should not be heard ahead of the voice of the ordinary working people of this country. Their voice should not be heard ahead of the forgotten families of this country. And I say it is one of the fundamental principles of our democracy that everyone's voice is equal, and you do not give special weight to celebrities. You do not give special weight to people who live half the year in Hollywood where there is no carbon tax. You do not give special weight even to former leaders of the Liberal Party. You give weight to the voice of the Australian people, and that's why it's so important that we should suspend standing orders, and that is why this matter can't wait. And I say to the Prime Minister, who typically has scuttled out of this chamber, she will not be able to avoid the voice of the Australian people for that much longer. She should stop thinking that a handful of celebrities somehow represent the voice of the Australian people. She should not be frightened of their voice. And if she is so certain that her arguments on climate change and on a carbon tax are so right, listen to the Australian people. Listen to the Australian people. Give them a chance to say yes or to say no, as the case may be. Stop thinking that the only people who count are the people who agree with her. Now, Mr Speaker, why it's so important that we suspend standing orders, why this matter can't wait, is because this government's carbon tax will be a massive hit on the standard of living of the forgotten families of our country. A 25% increase in power. What we should see is a bit of honesty from this Prime Minister. A Prime Minister who, if she was fair income, would say to the Australian people, all right, I deceived you before the election. I want to make an honest politician of myself by going to you and saying, give me a mandate for this tax. Now, Mr Speaker, the Prime